Baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend. I'm addicted to a black queen, baby, you're my coat.
Welcome back to Love Locked After. I'm Christelle, and today is Brittany's 30th birthday party and slash dinner slash brunch slash whole bunch of mimosas. So yeah, bear with me.
You with interest, the way that you kill it, you should be convicted. You should get life. Looking at you and what we sacrifice everything, even my life. Give you my all and I wouldn't think twice. I should make you my wife.
And today we're pretty much gonna be talking about blended love. Brittany, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Or well, I did ask Brittany a while back if she would introduce Dominisha. So go ahead and introduce your friend, even though she already.
We have Dominisha, aka Nisha, aka Dominisha, aka my best friend, aka my sister, aka my nigga from Blendable Bunch blog. Today on our podcast, she flew all the way out here from New York for my 30th birthday to be here for my brunch and be here for the weekend festivities. I appreciate and love her so much. Her and her husband Q.
No.
And yeah, that's Dominisha. Do you want to add anything?
No, I think you said everything that needs to be said so far.
She did. That was a lot. But okay, so what we want to talk about today is pretty much about your business that you have out now called Blended Love, right?
On Instagram is our blended _love. Okay. And then my blog page is blendablebunch.com.
Blended. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Blendable Bunch.
That's what that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, tell us about that.
Well, my blended family?
Just said. Yes.
Okay, so I have a blended family. I have 4 children, 3 biological, 1 stepdaughter. So my oldest is Keith. He's 14 years old.
Then I remember when he was born.
Yeah, you do. Then I have 2 11-year-olds, Damir and Jasmine. Jasmine is my stepdaughter. That's my husband's child. I knew her since she was 8 months old. So I've been a part of her life for a very long time. And then me and my husband have 1 child together, Sincere. He's 3. He'll be 4 soon. So me and my husband known each other since childhood. And, we went our separate ways, and we got back together, then we went our separate ways again. So long story short, we wound up getting back together when we already had 3 children.
Hold on, wait. You said y'all got...
Yeah, but I knew him since I was 12. That was my very first boyfriend. Mm-hmm. We were together for like 2 years, and then I moved to North Carolina, so we broke up, of course. Then I moved to Philly, and I wound up rekindling with him because, social media came. Mm-hmm. And we found each other on MySpace again, so we became friends. And then, we got back together, but then we found out that his ex-girlfriend was pregnant with Jasmine. So we wound up not being able to continue a relationship. I already had 1 child because I'm a teen mom. I had my first at 16. And then, we went our separate ways. He had his daughter. I wound up having another child with my pre-existing child's father. And that didn't work for either one of us. And we remained friends the entire time. And then we decided to really take it serious. So we got back together. We got engaged within 6 months. And within 2 years, we got married. And we just blended our family like instantly.
So how is that? How is that blended life going?
It's easier now because you've been together for so long. You've been together for 11 years. So it's easier now. Of course, in the beginning, it was a lot. It was a lot of drama. You had to worry about, the other parents. You had to worry about the children, how they were going to transition into it. But now it's much easier, although you still have, your struggles, especially since our kids are a little older, so they're more aware of everything that's going on. They know who their biological parents are. They know who their step parents are. And, sometimes being a step parent, you can just get tested more than biological.
See,
parent.
I don't like the word. I mean, I know that's what you use, and that's what most people use, but I don't like the word step.
Why?
Because I feel like when you say step, it's like I think of step stool.
Well, in order to a step stool is used to get what you have to get. You have to step up. So that's what the word step means. So you use a step stool because you can't reach what you're.
I mean, I understand where that's coming from, but I like the word bonus because I don't like to consider myself as a step parent.
Well, I don't even, when I introduce my stepdaughter, I don't even say stepdaughter. I say these are my children. I don't separate them in that sense.
Right.
But, because of this situation, I'm going to explain it more in depth. But when I'm speaking about my child, and even when I spoke to her, I said, you don't have to tell people I'm your stepmom. You can just tell people I'm your mom. You don't have to go into detail about that. But in the same sense, you also have to know your place, which is it's hard as a step parent because you're doing everything that a parent does and sometimes plus more, but you still also have to also remember your place because at the end of the day, there is a biological parent that's available.
Right. True.
So even if they ain't available, that's
so
they still there.
Is her mother involved in her life?
Yeah, she's involved in her life, but the day-to-day stuff is on me. So I'm a custodial step parent. There's two different. You can have step parenting, and you can just be a step parent on the weekend, on during holidays, or things like that. But I'm a custodial step parent, so that means morning, noon, night, while I'm at work, when I come home, when it's a holiday, when it's recess, when it's summer break. It doesn't matter. I'm always a parent to my stepchild. So it's just a little different when you're a custodial step parent.
So as a parent, like, what are some of the challenges that you face being being a bonus mother to her?
Being a step parent to my stepchild, the biggest thing is discipline, because it's discipline and co-parenting. So if you have to some extent, you have to respect the other parent's wishes. At least I feel like that, because it's like I'm not going to overstep your parent, but at the same time, if there's no alignment with the co-parenting and compromise, especially if you're a custodial step parenting, it can be a little difficult. Like, you can make it in short terms. If I say you can't have cookies, but then you go to your mom's house and your mom give you cookies, it becomes a problem. Especially if she know I said you can't have cookies because of cavities. You can. That's I'm just using that as a metaphor.
Right.
And if the co-parent, it depends on what type of co-parent you have. Because if you have a co-parent who is neglectful or doesn't have custody of the children for certain reasons, it creates a problem because now you have to protect that child the same way you protect your own children. So my issues are more of my daughter's 11 years old, so she's more, growing and developing, and she wasn't a custodial child before she turned that age. I was always around, but I didn't have as much influence because I was just a weekend step parent or a holiday step parent. Now that I'm a custodial step parent, it's like you see different things. It's like moving in with
she's
someone.
How old now?
11.
Okay.
So when you move in with someone, you know it's okay. Damn, they leave their toothbrush out. They don't cover their toothbrush, or they leave toothpaste on the sink. It's the same way with the child. It's like you know a child, but once you live with a child, you supposed to do this.
Right. So do you feel like she do certain things on purpose just to irk your nerves?
No. I don't think that it's done on purpose. I think that
just how she was raised.
It's a difference in parenting and discipline. So when she's coming into the house, and it's like I have to give her some type of opportunity to adjust to the change while still not letting her take advantage. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest issue that I'm having right now when it comes to being a step parent, because of me being a custodial step parent. It's one thing if I can just see her on the weekends and then she go back home and I don't have to deal with if she did her homework, if she took a shower, if she cleaned up her room, if she did her chores.
Right.
It's just a little different. So I think that's my biggest struggle right now, being a step parent.
So you think disciplining her is like hard for you?
Yeah, because I'm not the one who molded her. Because I'm not the one who molded her, I can't just jump in and be like, you can't do this and you're supposed to do this, because she's used to doing things a completely different way. My husband been a part of my children's life since they were 3 and 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So they live with him damn near their whole life. So they know him. You get what I'm saying?
Dad.
So with that situation, it's a little different because they know him. He knows them.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around them more than their biological father.
Right.
Because he's their custodial parent.
Right.
But with her, it's like her coming in. It's like you have
I like the word
transition.
custodial.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they use that in court system now because I know they either just say like step parent.
No,
or
it's
stepmom,
custodial.
but it is custodial, like a guardianship.
Yeah,
that's what they call it. But I mean, as you all know, like I do have a stepdaughter. Well,
a bonus
baby. I'm a bonus mom, and sometimes she will call me mom. Sometimes she'll say, Cece, and which I'm okay with that. But like the fact that I was in her life since she was 9 months old makes it a little easier. So I just hope that growing up hearing you, I feel like with her, I feel like being that she's being molded, in our household. May be a little different.
It really takes a village.
Right.
That term should not be taken lightly. It really takes a village. If everyone is working together and working as a team rather than working against each other or making sure this person knows, well, I'm the mom or I'm the grandmom or, if you work together and allow this child to know these are the people that's raising you, you have to respect them accordingly and they have a right to discipline you or they have a right to, tell you what's right, tell you what's wrong. If that child knows that there's no breaks in your foundation, then they take advantage.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. But if you have your baby your bonus baby from since 9 months and you kind of like have been around her and molding her and had the opportunity to be a part of that, then it may be a little different.
Right, that's true. Brittany, do you have anything to say about that?
I don't know because I'm not a step parent and I don't have any bonus children. I commend y'all both because I don't know if I was with my husband and if he had other children, I don't know if I'll be able to like step up and be that step parent or bonus mom. But that's very commendable for both of y'all. And it takes a strong woman to even take on those duties because dealing with your own kids and raising your own kids is hard enough. I can imagine dealing with someone else's child and dealing with the other parent. I feel like that's a lot in itself. But I just commend y'all. I mean, I don't really have any input because I'm not in y'all position, so I don't really know enough to speak on it.
Right.
But y'all some strong black women. I appreciate y'all. I respect y'all. I don't know.
Although a blended family, can be a little strenuous, tiring, etc. There are plenty of things about having a bonus family that is beautiful. Like I have 3 boys. I haven't been blessed with a daughter, so she's my daughter. So although I didn't birth her, she's still my baby. And sometimes, they all get on my nerves. That's nothing. But sometimes I'll come in and she'll be showing me the dance that she got, or she'll like a certain lotion that she have, or she just want to talk to me about certain things, and that just makes me feel like okay, she's getting it. Or even if I'm disciplining her, and I'll ask her a question like, "What do I want for you? What do you think I want for you?" And she answers the question like, "You want me to be successful? You want me to be smart? You want me to be independent?" And it's just like, okay, so you're getting it. Right. You're getting it. Although you're not doing it right now, you're getting it. And it takes, it takes time. It takes time for all children, whether they're your step kid, bonus kid, biological child. It takes time, but if you keep doing that, it changes things. And when you see your personality coming out, your biological children is beautiful. When you see like the time you taking out with your bonus baby and they're appreciating it. Like my daughter had asked me, because she called me mommy. And I was a little stuck because I don't ever want her to feel like she has to choose. And I don't want her to call me mommy in private and then she get around her mom and then feel like, oh, what I'm supposed to do now. I can't say that in front of my mom. So I told her I would rather you not, because I don't want you to feel like you have to choose or feel in the middle or ever feel uncomfortable. And I don't want to make your mom feel away either. So I told her, we can think of a different name. Maybe we can think of a different language or something that means mom. But my oldest son, who's just a little, how can I put this? proper. He calls me mother.
Mother.
So Jasmine, my daughter, was like, I'm gonna call you mother too.
Okay.
So she calls me mother, and then some of them call me ma, some of them call me mommy, some of them call me mother. So it's not that far off.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just didn't ever want her mom to feel as if I'm stepping on her toes, trying to take her place, because I could never take her mom's place.
Right. I remember when Victoria, when she was a baby, well, a kid, when she would started calling me mommy. She used to say mommy all the time, and then her mom didn't feel comfortable with her calling me mom. So, I had to come with, my middle name, which I just cut it and say, hey, just call me Cece. And she's been calling me Cece forever, but sometimes she mistaken, and she'll be like mommy, because, Anaya and Isaiah always say mommy, mommy, mommy. So she's like mom or mommy, and I'm like, it's okay. And then she'll be like, I'm sorry, and I'm like, no, you don't have to apologize.
I don't mind it, but it's just you trying to be respectful. But then
I didn't want to I remember when her mother called me and she was like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with her calling you mom, but Keith say, my husband, Keith say that that's Christelle's kind of low for her to say. So we came up with Cece, and Cece is she's like my Cece. Like when anyone else says Cece, she was like, no, she's my Cece. Aww. And then, but now, every now and then, she'll say mommy. She say mom, mommy. And then I'm like, it's okay. And then she apologized. She was like, I'm sorry. I remember one time she was like, she told her mom, it was me and her mom in the same room, and she said mommy. She was referring to me, but then was she apologized to her mom for calling me mom, and I was like, I felt so bad for her to having to
say?
I think after that her mom was okay with it because she has two moms. Yeah. Right, you know what I mean? She has two moms because she's a kid. Yeah. You know what I mean? She felt like she tells people all the time that she has two moms.
That's how my sons are too. They call my husband Say. So his name is Senkyu, and my mom just started saying Sensei. I don't know why. And then my kids started calling him Say. And that stuck. That's their name. Even my 3-year-old, who's biologically ours, would be like Say. You get what I'm saying? But it's I know that that's their Say, and they don't see a difference between stepdad and dad, because they do.
I mean, really though, who said you have to call your parents mom and dad? I mean, that's something that was brought up from the beginning. No, I'm saying, you should.
Brother.
No, I mean, you don't have to.
And yo, don't.
No, they don't have to. But what I'm saying is, that was a name originated from our ancestors.
Man, my kids call me
mom doing.
I'm like, nah, that ain't it.
But what I'm saying is, yes, these kids are saying mom, dad, but these we're very important role in their lives, and they're like, hey, I want to call this person this name. You know what I mean? So whatever they feel comfortable, but still have that respect. Hey, this is somebody this is my mother. Or this is somebody that took care. Being a mother is not just birthing somebody. You know what I mean? It takes it takes like you were saying earlier, take a village to raise children. So with that being said, I really do commend you. I know it's a lot.
It is.
And I'm sure sometimes they feel you just want to pull heads and.
I think sometimes
pull heads, beat ass.
I think sometimes you just don't feel appreciated. I mean, being a stepdad is a little different because
being a stepmom, right?
Anything a dad does is oh my God, he's a single dad. He's really doing this thing. Commend to you. Being a single mom is normal. That's expected. Being a stepdad is yes, he stepped up when he went and stepped up and he did what he had to do. And it's being a stepmom is well, that's what you're supposed to do. And not only are you expected to be a step parent, you're expected to do everything for this child the same way you would do for your own. Right. And it's not necessarily appreciated. It's more expected. Society says, as a stepmom, you should be doing everything. Why should your husband be doing his daughter's here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't you got a woman there? Shouldn't she be doing it? You know, it's just a little bit more pressure being a woman and having to be a parent and a step parent. And it's 4 kids, 4 different personalities. It's a lot.
Yeah. Do you see yourself pulling back from wanting to do something that you feel like she should do with her mother?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But not because I don't want to do it. Like instance, period stuff. It's like, okay, so is she gonna talk to her about her period? Like, when she gonna talk to her about it? Because I mean, the time is now. So when is she gonna do it? You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, all right, I'm not gonna keep waiting. I'm a planner, so I think about stuff months, years in advance. So it's like, if she's 9 and she got the little, little hard balls for the nipples. Okay, so she's through puberty. Let's start this now. And sometimes you don't want to overstep. So with that situation, I asked my husband to reach out to her and to tell her, Nisha wants to talk to Jasmine about periods. Is that okay? Because I'm not gonna wait. She's in my house.
Do you have conversation with her?
With
her mother?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
I contact her all the time. I have more communication than my husband because at this point I feel like, she's my baby mother. Because
right. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's like, when it comes to the kids, it's like, I think I kind of got like a takeover personality, especially when stuff needs to get done. I don't like waiting on people. And if I tell my husband to do something and he like, yeah, I'll get to it, it's like, all right, I don't got time to wait for you. I need this done right now. I need her to know this right now. This is coming up. So I think I just took over. Honestly, sometimes during breakups it can be a little hard to communicate, and I think that their communication isn't always healthy. So I think I know how to, put my little touch in there. It's fine, but I was just saying, next time you should just, say it without being, rude, and it doesn't turn into an argument. Me and her didn't sleep together, so we don't have any beef. So let her know how I feel. Let me know what we should do and move forward with it.
Right. Do you think she has like any kind of animosity towards you in any way?
Not no more. Like I said, we've been together for 11 years. In the beginning, it was not easy. Transitioning, we were young, a lot of feelings were involved. It just wasn't easy. But at this point, no. I think that she's comfortable because she knows that I truly care. You know what I mean? And she's in my stepdaughter's with me most of the time. So, I mean, she comes back in one piece. She's taken care of. She looks good. If there is any issues, I'll reach out to both of them. I'll reach out to my husband, let my husband know what's going on, what I don't like, what needs to be fixed. And I also reach out to her mom, for her mom to step in and for me to tell her, okay, she isn't doing her homework. I need you to speak with her. So I include her in things. So it's not like a separation.
Okay. All right. So all this becoming a stepmom was what drove you to become, to want to do your blended website blog. So tell us about your website.
So blended blog. Well, it's on Instagram. It's our_blended_love, and on my domain name is Blendable Bunch, because my kids they don't see each other as step family. You know what I mean? They've Damir and Jasmine literally have been washed up together and both drinking the same formula and in Pampers. They have been raised together, so they don't see each other as step parents. And honestly, I think my family is really funny. Everyone's cracking jokes on each other. Everyone is, friendly, loving. They sometimes they don't get along, but overall, it's like, we blend well. Like when we take family pictures, I don't see it as, okay, that's his daughter, those are my sons, that's our baby. It's like we're blended very well. And I think that, my family is pretty awesome.
I know that's what inspired you to create it there. So, but what else are you doing with that website? I'm sure you have a lot.
Well, I want to touch on like generational things. Like I'm the first person married. Like my mom wasn't married, put it that way. My grandmother married. She was married, but it wasn't successful. And I really learned, when you get into a relationship, you really learn about your triggers, your family history, your mental health, what bothers you, what doesn't, what you expect out of a person, and your parental relationship, like your relationship with your mom and your dad, really changes how you react in your own personal relationship.
Right.
So it's like I'm trying to change things within my family so that my future generations understands the meaning of, education, wealth, marriage, being together, mental health, being able to talk about things. Like, I'm really open with my children. I don't really hide anything from them. I make sure we speak about everything possible, tell them the truth, tell them, stuff that can be seen as inappropriate or uncomfortable for certain households. It's like we have a really open relationship. So my blog is dedicated to changing, like, the meaning of family and tradition and generational curses. And like for instance, just this last September, we took my mom out of the country for the first time. She's never been out of the country. Thank you. She's never been out of the country, like, ever. You gotta show me that stuff. Oh, okay.
Food time.
She's never been out of the country. You know what I mean? And my children, the first time I went out the country, I was 22. My children are 14 and 11. You get what I'm saying? And it's just changing things with, like, what we used to know. And moving forward in the future, changing it. Like, my son is 14 years old and he's already thinking about what his career is going to be. He's gaming. Don't get me wrong, I hate the game, but he made $250 in a tournament. So, he's focused. He's like, I want to get out of high school. I want to be a gamer. It's like I talk to them about their emotions, about their triggers, how to understand why they're upset. It's like I take a lot of mental health. I take mental health very serious in my house, because when you get older and you become a grown man and you're angry and you don't know why you're angry, it's not healthy for your future family. And the same thing if you're a woman, because I know my childhood, I was very angry. So.
Yeah, one of the things that we've been doing this season is like self-love, like just figure out how people, take care of themselves. I know we went off topic, we kind of went backward, but like, so what's one thing that you do to show yourself love?
I take the time out for myself, whether that's a bath, whether that's a facial, whether it's going to get my hair, my nails done, whether that's calling my friend to vent and say a whole bunch of stuff that I know I should not be saying, but I got to get it out. Talking to my husband about how I feel. Me and my husband have a lot of one-on-one time because he's also one of my best friends, so that's easy too. And just do things for myself and getting it out. I feel like once I say how I feel about a situation, I can let it go, change it, revamp it. Okay, what's the next step? I can never stay stuck in one thing. It's like, okay, I feel like this. Now, what am I going to do to change it? It's always been a part of my personality.
So it seems like you already kind of figure out your boundaries.
No, I can't say that. I'm working on that because life happens. But I will, if I feel like something is going south or I feel like something is too much, then yes, I will speak up.
Okay, that's good. So, how do you think your husband feel about you being a mother to his child? How do you feel? Because I always want to know that.
I think he's appreciative. I think sometimes it can be overwhelming for him too, because of course he would want me and his child to get along and stuff like that, and he wants to have a good relationship. But I think overall he's appreciative and he's very understanding too. Like, I can go to him and tell him exactly what's going on with me, what I'm upset with, and sometimes he just let me vent. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes he just let me say what it is I have to say, and I also make sure that he's aware that anything I'm saying is not from a place of anger. It's more from a place of love. Like, I'm concerned and I'm frustrated because this is what I want for the betterment of our family or our children. Either one of them. Like, there's really no separating our children in the household. There's not no that's your child. There's none of that. These are our 4 kids.
Oh yeah, when you said, like, I know we talked about the discipline thing already, but like, how do you think he feels about like disciplining, like you disciplining?
I don't think he cares.
Okay.
I don't think, because he knows.
Is that something y'all discuss with like her mother? Or is it just mutual with both of y'all?
In the past, it was like, that's my daughter. Don't touch her. Don't do her hair. Don't do this. Don't do that. But like I said, we're 11 years in. So after a while, It's like, all right, well, if you're not going to do her hair, then who's going to do it? And if she's here with me and she sticks her finger in a socket, you want me to leave her? So, after a while, everything just works out. A lot of things, the way things are in the beginning is usually much harder than they are towards the middle and, progression of the relationship. It changes.
Yeah.
Feelings aren't involved.
I'm glad you said that, because sometimes I feel like I just want to like go crawl in a ball somewhere because I don't want to discipline.
No, I feel like you have to discipline. If you truly love a child, you have to discipline them.
I do, I do to a certain extent, but I don't want to like be hard on them. Like I do, but I still feel like, because my husband and I, like, discipline is kind of like different with both of us. It's like opposite. Like I'm just more like, come on, something needs to change. And he's like more calm, and he's like talking to them like all calmly, and I'm like,
well, that's good. That means that there's a good balance.
Yeah, there's a balance.
You need both.
Good cop, bad cop.
You kind of need both.
I feel like I'm the bad cop sometimes.
I am too.
But I feel like I'm the bad cop sometimes. I know my husband and my kids, they be talking about me on the low. They were like, mommy's here, she's about to leave. Say, you're going to let us leave. She's upset. So I know it's a bit of both, but it kind of needs to be that way, because if you have two strict parents, that's not healthy for the child. If you have two
laid back parents,
that's not good for the child
either. There's no
either.
parental structure.
Right. You need
a balance. Yeah. So I know I'm definitely the bad cop parenting. You know what? I'm a parent.
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
If something needs to get done and the boys ain't listening, I put it in check. My husband, he the type, he'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to them. Listen, y'all, like, y'all can't be doing X, Y, and Z. Like, you gotta listen to your mama when she talk. Me, I'm coming in guns blazing. But
God never wants safety.
But sometimes it's not always good to come in like that. Like, so I try to alter my parenting too, the way I approach the kids, because we live in a different time of day. I try not to raise my kids the way I was raised, because I was raised off of ass whoopings. I think it's just scary, but I think it's just scary. Period. And raising children. My mom was a single parent, so. Now that I'm growing my kids up with two parents in the home, I'm like, you know what, Brit ain't even that serious. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be okay.
It's alright. And I'm like, you know what? I'll let my husband handle it. I'm like, go talk to your kids, because I don't want to go off the rip on them.
So Nisha, what advice? I think I've been saying Nisha from the beginning. So is that what you want people to call you?
Yeah.
So what advice would you give somebody who's experiencing the same thing you're experiencing? Like, coming to a family, having a stepdaughter, a bonus baby, and just trying to learn and deal from that.
Time. Everything takes time. You cannot fix everything in a day. Sometimes you have to just pull back, let your spouse know how you're feeling, let them handle it. Don't take control over too many things, because you cannot fix everything. Rome wasn't built in a day. Time will fix everything. Just be consistent. If you love that child and you love your husband and you really want the family to work, you be there, you be supportive. When you're not needed, back up. Or when you're told to back up, back up. When you're told to step up, step up. And it's kind of hard, but it's the truth. And take time out for yourself.
Right. I like how you say time, but sometimes I don't think, not trying to like say, what you're doing is not working for you. But I feel like sometimes times really doesn't work. It's accepting the situation that works.
That's a part of it too. But that takes time to do.
Right.
You can't just accept it. Sometimes it takes time to accept it.
Right. Because if you don't accept it, then time is just, because we're moving. We're all moving. But in order for you to like actually move forward and like accept the situation, you have to accept that what the situation you're in, it is what it is.
For a while,
and if you don't, then
with my stepdaughters, like I was so attached to her that I kept forgetting that she was my stepdaughter at a point. And I had to remind myself. And then when other people would remind me, like her mom, and say, like, that's not your daughter. For me, it was like heartbreaking. Like, what? She's not what? But I'm doing this, but I'm doing that.
Right.
I had another family member of hers say, what you think, you her mom, because you doing her hair and buying her clothes? And I was like, yeah. I do. Right. I'm also washing her up. I'm also cuddling with her. I'm also at the hospital when I'm doing everything. But at the same time,
You're
Not
her
her
mom.
mom.
You're her mom. But you
I'm
are
not-
her mom.
Yeah, I'm her mom, her stepmom. So you
But
can't
not
forget that.
biological.
You get what
You're
I'm
her
saying?
bonus mom.
Stepmom. But you can't forget
I'm never
that.
gonna
You
get
know
over
what I'm
that
saying?
word. It is. I
When they say
cannot
step, that
it.
means you stepped up to the plate.
Plate.
Because this is an optional job. You don't
Right.
have to take this. You don't
Right.
have to do this. So if you choose to make your life a little bit more difficult, you stepping up to the plate.
Right.
It's like getting a promotion at your job. They say, hey, we're offering you this position. They don't say, hey, you have to take
this position. This position is mandatory. They said we're offering it to you, so you have to take it or leave it.
So I say bonus. You know what a bonus is? You did this work and you get compensated for it. Step parenting is not necessarily a compensation.
Yeah,
You're doing
true.
this because you love
to.
it. You want to.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Or it has to be done, which means you're a commendable person and you stepped up to the plate. So
you a real
I don't take anything. I don't take anything from.
Brittany's gonna get us off air. YouTube, right? We're never gonna get on there.
I don't take anything, and I don't feel offense to the word step because that is what I am. But my heart is in a step. You get what I'm saying? She's still my baby.
Yeah.
So anybody who's struggling with that situation, just take your time. Like you said, acceptance is very well. Acceptance also takes time. Don't take things personally. Move forward. Do what you can. And when you need to take a step back, I realize you can take a step back because at the end of the day, that's your spouse's job. Not fully yours.
Right.
Take a step back. Let your spouse know how you feel and always be open and honest with communication, especially to your spouse because that is your partner.
Right.
Then after that, just let things fall where they may. Some parents, after a while, they're going to be really appreciative that they had a step parent to step up. And whether you get a thank you or I appreciate you or not, you did it from the bottom of your heart.
Right.
Is that too?
I thank you guys for having me today.
I know. So
we wanna. I wanna know how you show yourself self-love though.
We did.
We said
we
that.
not just said that. Where were you?
Yes, I said a bath. I said
She
working
was somewhere
out.
else.
Speaking to my husband, taking the time for myself, going to do my hair, going to do my nails.
Oh, okay.
Where were you, Britt?
Tell us a little bit what you do. As far as your job.
I work in property management. Right now, I am a compliance supervisor, so I make sure the property is in compliance as far as audits, as far as income and asset verifications, and making sure the tenants are charged the right amount of rents. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So you basically, your job is important because you basically work in a community where you grew up, and you basically help the tenants. Basically,
with
keep they personal, what is it called? They vouchers? Is it called vouchers or certification? Certification, so they can live in their apartments and stuff like that in New York.
Along with little other things like helping them get help with their rent, helping them get what is it called, one-shot deals, things of that sort.
So that's dope. So how do you feel about like working in that community where you grew up at and you being able to give back and help people and give them the knowledge?
I feel great. I feel like those are my people. You know what I mean?
So you basically
I understand their situation. I work well with them. They feel comfortable enough to tell me. Because working in property management, I need to know I need to know a lot of your personal business.
Right.
So for me, it's like I'm very respectful of their personal business. I'm very understanding of what they're going through, and any way I can assist them. Even if I gotta go above and beyond, I don't mind it because their livelihood depends on me assisting them sometimes.
Right.
I have tenants who have Alzheimer's. I have tenants who are, they may be in situations that are a bit, it's this person's situation. I wouldn't even want to keep disclosing everything, but I like the fact that sometimes they come to me and I'm the only one that they want to speak to because they know I'm going to give them that respect that they need and the help and even explain certain things to them in detail for them to be able to comprehend.
That's what's up.
So anything else you want to share with our viewers before we close today?
Yes, I want you guys to follow me on our_blended_love on Instagram or follow my blog at blendablebunch.com. I post maybe twice a week. I post maybe twice a week. I'm going to try to do a little bit more. Follow me, and I plan on, Going off with my blog.
Go off, sis. Go off. Go off. So tell them. I know you already
I need
explained.
I need to be on your blog.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
you
you do.
explained
I
a
need to
little bit.
interview
I
you.
know you explained a little bit about what your blog is about, but like, can you just tell us a little bit more about like what else you're gonna be posting about your blog and like what's your goal for your blog?
My goal for my blog is just basically is to start because I eventually want to, write a memoir, write some fictional books, some helpful books. I was a teen mom, so I love talking about that because teen moms they most of the time they're told you're too young to have a baby and that it's more negative stuff than
More negative
positive
than
stuff.
positive,
There's
right?
not
Isn't that
necessarily.
always though? It's always
Yeah,
the more negative.
it's always more negative stuff, which is really hard because you're already beating yourself up, and then you got 10 people beating you up. Then you're feeling embarrassed. So I'm gonna be writing more stuff. I just revamped my blog. My previous blog had a lot of interviews on it with teen moms who were success stories, and I'm gonna start that up again as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I know being a teen mom is definitely frowned upon because like, oh, you're a baby having a baby.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, life happens, things happen. I'm not condoning it.
Yeah, definitely not condoning it.
If you can
live your life,
finish
get your
college,
degree.
and then have children and stuff like that, that's great. But like sometimes things happen. And when I was a teen mom, I didn't have that support. I didn't have like support groups. I didn't have people to talk to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's good that we could share our story and let other teen moms know, like, it's not the end of the world that you have a baby and you're a teen mom. Because I was a teen mom, I was able to finish college. I was able to get a good job. I'm in the process of building a house. I got married. I kind of did my stuff backwards, but it don't matter as long as it happens. It happens.
Okay.
Like, so that's good. Everybody check out the Blended blog.
BlendableBunch.com.
BlendableBunch.com, the website.
Yes.
And please listen out.
Follow her on Instagram
at our_blended_love.
Okay.
Right, and then follow us at love.lifeafter on Instagram and Facebook, and send us an email at lovelifeafter18@gmail.com if you got any questions, concerns, or if you got any feedback or anything that you want to contribute to the podcast.
Let us know.
Let us know. And if do y'all want to leave up with anything inspirational today?
What's that?
Well, since I'm kind of out of words today, keep going no matter what.
Yeah, who was that?
Reginald.
Absolutely. Yeah, I could not. He's just always gonna be on my mind.
And I'll leave you with a quote, poem from Maya Angelou. Still, I rise.
I'm freaking
Still, I rise. Brittany, you got any?
Well, I don't really have like a quote today or anything like that. But today is my 30th birthday.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. And I had an amazing day today. I had a lot of people come out for brunch. I wasn't expecting everybody to come, but it was a wonderful turnout. And
Yes,
I want to
was.
shout out everybody that came, show me love. I appreciate it. But I just want to let you guys know that if you are thinking about starting over, starting a new job, starting a new business, just know that you're not starting from scratch, that you're starting from experience.
Yes.
And don't let anything stop you. Don't let anybody tell you that you aren't worthy, that you aren't good enough, and don't ever seek validation from people that aren't valid. Because everybody ain't rooting for you. You got to root for yourself.
Find your purpose.
Find your purpose.
And follow it.
Do what makes you happy. And that's it.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for listening today. We really appreciate you. Like Brittany said, follow us on Instagram and all of our devices. Huh? Oh, thank you, Carmela.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next week. Love Life After. And just remember, there's love
after all.
Love Life After.
She got me feeling like a dope fiend.
Okay, Love Life After.
Thank you.
A black queen. Shit, mommy, I feel so conflicted. She gave me a taste, I'm addicted. I feel like I owe you with interest. The way that you kill it, you should be convicted. You should get life. Looking at you and what we sacrifice. Sacrifice everything, even my life. Give you my all and I wouldn't think twice. I should make you my wife. Oh yeah, you are. You take me high as the moon and the stars.